Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello, my friends. I hope you guys are doing great today. Today, we will be trimming down some plants. So I haven't been taking care of my plants in quite a while due to just not very good mental health lately, and that's okay because I'm doing a little bit better now. But yeah, I feel like, as people, we go through the ebb and flows of life, and we kind of just need to learn to roll with it. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm fertilizing that plant. That was a Monstera, and I've had her for quite a bit. She's actually a cutting from a bigger Monstera that I had. But yeah, now I'm trimming down an Aglaonema. I forgot what the subspecies was. But yeah, and then this is a Baltic blue pothos, probably one of my favorites. I grew it from a cutting from a Walmart plant. Or maybe it was an actual plant. Yes, it was an actual plant. I did not take a cutting from it. Absolutely not, because I do not want to get sued for growing it on my own. But yeah, so I'm just trimming down, some of the overgrowth. I know it is winter time. So in the winter time, usually plants go into dormancy, which means that they're not really going to be growing new leaves. They're going to be kind of more restful and saving that energy for later. Um, so yeah, because of the sun not being out as much, usually the plants go into dormancy, around winter time. But in Arizona, which is where I'm from, we don't really get seasons here. It's kind of less hot and then super hot. So it's a range. It's a range. And then on the very right side is a marbled pothos that I've had for quite a while. But yeah, so I'm just going through, trimming down the leaves, watering them with some fertilizer. I forgot what the name of the fertilizer was, but I think I show it here somewhere. Yeah. And now we have a prayer plant. This one is a calathea. I am not sure the subspecies of this one. I can put it on the screen when I remember. I used to be really into plants, but I kind of got out of it for a bit due to just life getting in the way and, just bouts of sadness that kind of ebbed and flowed. I feel like when the seasons change, sometimes, your emotions can change as well, and your mental health can change as well. So I hope, all of you are doing very, good. I hope you guys are doing okay and healing through everything that's happening in the world and life. Because, things can get kind of tough sometimes. So I hope you're, taking some time to take care of yourself. Now, the fun thing about prayer plants is that when the sun comes out, oftentimes they'll spread their leaves out. And then whenever the sun kind of goes down and it's darker outside, the leaves will kind of close up, like they're praying. And so I find that such a cute little, I don't know, such a cute little characteristic of plants, especially calatheas. I have or had quite a collection. I actually don't remember how many I have now because some of them died off because of neglect. But I'm getting into taking better care of my plants because when I take care of my plants, I take care of myself, and I want to feel okay and I want to be okay. And I want my plants to be okay because plants are living creatures too. So, let's make sure they're doing good. Yeah. This is a giant pothos, marbled pothos, that I've had for quite a while. I've been growing it slowly over the years. I will trim down like certain certain leaves, and then I will put them back into the pot. And I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. I like to do that so that it grows a more full head of leaves. I like, plants that are very bushy and, beautiful and lustrous. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for this one for a while. It's kind of big. It's getting a little bit out of hand. I think I need to trim it down again eventually. But for now, I think I'll leave it as is. And the reason the leaves are all wrapped up and such is because we have a cat and she likes to jump onto things and eat my plants. And I'm not a fan of that, but oh, and here we go too. She knocked over the camera, but it's fine. And you might see me, talking throughout this, but I'm just shouting across the room, to my to my siblings because I talk to them as, we live in the same house. It's gonna happen. But yeah, so here's all my little plants. And I wanted to talk about depression for a little bit because I feel like it's something that people struggle with, but oftentimes feel ashamed to talk about. Um, Now, depression for me isn't too extreme, thankfully. I don't really have bouts where I just never get out of bed or shower. Mine is more so I feel like I'm burning on the inside, but the world on the outside, everything seems fine. Like I'm just going about my normal day. I more often than not look tired, more tired than usual. I just I don't feel the best, and oftentimes I fall into old bad habits of not taking care of myself and not drinking water, not doing things that I need to be happy. More often than not, I don't, go on my walks or go outside. And that oftentimes makes depression worse. So the reason I was able to get out of it was I forced myself to go on walks. I forced myself to be outside because being outside is good for your soul. Oh, as you can see, little shortcut, this is a node, and that node is very good for your plant to thrive. It is the place that the roots will grow out of. So as you can see, I cut off a piece of that. I forgot the name of this plant as well, but I can put it up. I think I'll put up the names of these plants just randomly. But yeah, so I cut that like some leaves off at the node. And I put the leaf back in just so that the roots are able to grow with the plant. And then as you can see, I'm watering it. I like to make sure that the soil is moist, and to keep the soil moist, I like this other than water propagation. Water propagation is very nice, but I do think that the plant grows a lot better whenever it has soil, and it depends on the plant too. Some plants don't like that, but for pothos, they can survive pretty well if you trim them down and just put them back into the pot and dirt propagate them, I guess. But yeah, and as you can see, some of these are just dying, full on dying, which I'm kind of sad about, but it's the way of life, things ebb and flow, they die and grow, and all we can do is hope for the best. Yeah, back to depression talks. I'm sorry for anyone out there who's having, you know, a hard time with their mental health. I understand it's exhausting to constantly be sort of trapped in your head all the time. It's not a good experience, and it doesn't make you feel good about yourself or other people. Oftentimes, and this is something I realized, is I will take how other people perceive me, and I take that to heart. I'm learning not to do that, but usually, that can make me sad or depressed feeling. And I've learned that, usually the way that people treat other people is how they feel about themselves, which is a sad thing to say because you see so much pain and misery in the world, and you see like, oh, often like that's coming from a place of pain. Those people are hurting, and that's why they want to hurt other people. It doesn't, justify it, but it helps you understand and have more like, and this word gets thrown around a lot, so don't come at me, but it does make you empathize, I guess, with that person, and you kind of understand how they're feeling, like, and why they treat people the way they do. Doesn't excuse it at all, but you do understand, like, hey, maybe that person's having a bad day, or that person, maybe they don't feel so confident in themselves. Usually I get backhanded compliments or, backhanded comments, where I have to decipher, I guess, what the other person means. But I'm kind of learning to just take things at face value, instead of taking it to heart. Because if I'm constantly trying to figure out the underlying meanings and whatnot of what people mean or don't mean, I'm just going to tire myself out. And I did. And that kind of contributed to this, bout of depression that I had. So instead, I'm learning to let things go. Let people be as they are. If they want to communicate to me that they don't like me, they can tell me with their words like an adult. Otherwise, I'm just going to, in a sense, play dumb, except not dumb, because I'm just going to take their words at face value. If they say something, I'm not going to try to find the underlying meaning, because that's just going to make me more tired and frustrated with trying to understand why people act the way they do. Sometimes you will understand, and sometimes you're just going to tire yourself out or die before you do. Yeah. If you're wondering why there's a plastic bag on that Monstera, it was because our cat likes to dig into our plants and poop in them. So that's super fun, but it's okay. As you can see, I also have another plant. Most of the leaves fell off, or all of the leaves fell off, but it has some little leaves that are trying to grow, so I hope those grow so bad. I really love that plant. It was like a lemon lime pothos. Again, I'll put all the names up, but yeah. So I'm super happy about that, especially in the wintertime. Usually they don't grow new sprouts in the wintertime. But again, it's Arizona. The weather's pretty much the same all year round, and so is the sun exposure. Yeah. Back on the topic. Yeah. Usually the way that people treat other people is the way that they feel about themselves. So if someone's, coming from a place of insecurity or pain, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't like the way that this or that, looks on you," or something, which sometimes it is constructive criticism. Sometimes it's just backhanded and it's not, constructive at all. But usually whenever people say something to that extent, and usually they don't say it directly to me, they'll say it about me or about someone else. Usually I can see kind of a pained look in their eyes. Like, whenever you're a kid and your soul gets crushed for the first time, as sad as that sounds. And I hope none of you guys have had that experience, but when your soul gets crushed for the first time, you can see the light leave your eyes. And usually whenever people say other bad things about other people, I can see the same pained look in their eyes. So it makes me think or wonder, if someone said that to them. If someone said, "That shirt looks stupid," or something. So now they think that everyone who wears pink or something is dumb. And so it makes you feel a sort of sadness for them, because who told that young child to feel that way? Who made that young child want to treat other people with hurt as well? I think part of adulthood is unlearning a lot of the pain you're taught to feel and to induce in others as a young child. So, if you come from a place of understanding, you can learn to, I guess, resolve the issue at its root. Anyways, for ferns, whenever you water ferns, you want to water them from the bottom, because if you water them from the top, I find that they mold a little bit, or more so rot, and I don't really want that to happen to my ferns. So I like to, put some water in the pot and let it drink up the water from the ground up. So, all that to say, I hope you lead through today with kindness and compassion for other people. I hope that, you find healing in your life and that you don't hurt other people out of pain that you have within yourself. I hope you're able to find, a community that you're able to express yourself and be a happy person in, and to treat other people with kindness. I hope you have a great rest of your day and take care. Farewell, my friend. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Adios. Goodbye, my
Goodbye.
friends.
Take care.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Love you. Bye.